Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we are checking out a quiet little mall serving the city of Newark. This is the Indian Mound Mall in Heath, Ohio. Although this mall doesn't have a ton of character, it does appear to still hold on to some life despite its struggles, serving as a primary shopping destination for Newark. So join me as we take a walk through the Indian Mound Mall and let's see what it holds in store for us during my visit in late September 2024. Our history begins back in the late 1980s when Glimcher Realty Trust began construction on a new enclosed mall for the Newark region. They would build the mall just 10 minutes southwest of the city in nearby Heath. Indian Mound Mall would officially open its doors for the first time on October 23, 1986, featuring the anchors of JCPenney, Elder Beerman, Lazarus, and Hills. Indian Mound Mall would begin with great success, warranting an expansion in 1988, which would add Crown Cinema to the rear of the mall. The mall would become a staple in the area as a prime shopping destination for Newark and would continue to remain successful throughout the late 1980s and early 1990s. By the mid-1990s, the area surrounding Indian Mound Mall would become a major retail corridor for Newark and Heath, as Target would open up right across from the mall in July 1995, and the mall itself would continue to remain successful around this time. As in 1997, Sears would join Indian Mound Mall as a fifth anchor, replacing a nearby freestanding location. And around the same time, the Crown Cinema would be expanded from 6 to 11 screens and would be rebranded to Hollywood Theaters. Even Elder Beerman would renovate their store around this time. However, the mall's center court fountain would be removed in 1997. Indian Mound Mall would continue to remain a destination throughout the late 1990s, however would still continue to go through changes, as Hills would be replaced by Ames in 1999. Going into the new millennium, Indian Mound Mall would see some struggles, as in 2002, Ames would close as the entire company went out of business, and in 2004, Lazarus would close their Indian Mound Mall location. Although this would be a pretty major blow to the mall, these spaces wouldn't sit vacant for too long, as the former Ames space would become home to Stephen Barry's in 2004, and the former Lazarus space would become home to a Goodies in 2005. Indian Mound Mall would continue to remain successful around this time, however, anchors would still continue to shuffle around throughout the late 2000s. In May 2008, Goodies would close up shop, followed by Steve & Barry's in 2009 as they would go out of business. This would once again leave two massive anchor spaces vacant at the mall going into the 2010s. However, they would be addressed over time. In 2011, the former Lazarus space would be completely gutted and converted to a Dick's Sporting Goods, and more changes would continue to happen at Indian Mound Mall throughout the mid-2010s. As in 2014, an Ulta Beauty would open up near the Dick's Sporting Goods, and around the same time, the interior of the mall would receive a major renovation, which resulted in the removal of the tile floor and gave us the ugly gray carpet you see today. On top of that, newer lighting fixtures would be added to the mall. And in April 2016, the Hollywood Theater would reopen as an AMC theater. And in 2017, Big Sandy would open up in the former Steve & Barry space. However, things would really start to go downhill in the late 2010s. In 2018, Elder Beerman would announce the closure of their store, as their parent company, Bon-Ton, filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy and closed all of their stores in August of 2018. That same year, several inline tenants throughout the mall would begin to leave, such as Osaka Japan and FYE, just to name a few. And on August 31st, 2019, Sears would announce the closure of their Indian Mound Mall location, and the store would officially close its doors for the last time in December 2019. Shortly after that, the mall would have to shut down for a couple months in March 2020 due to the COVID lockdown. However, around the same time, Newark and Heath would be hit with massive floods. Although the mall would be closed to shoppers due to the pandemic, it would open its doors to shelter those affected by the floods. A couple months later, the mall would reopen from the lockdown in May 2020, and by this point, occupancy would be emptying out. Even mixed-use tenants, such as a developmental disability center, would close, and by this point, the food court would begin to empty out. However, Altitude Trampoline Park would open in the former Elder Beerman space in November 2020, but this wouldn't stop other tenants from leaving. As of today, Indian Mound Mall sits with an uncertain future. Although the mall isn't necessarily dead, it's not thriving either and is very much struggling, and during my visit, featured a completely vacant food court. Inline occupancy sits at around 50 to 60%, and the mall does still have some mainstays such as Spencer's, Bath & Body Works, and K Jewelers, just to name a few. However, with Columbus not too far away for competition, only time will tell what the future holds for the Indian Mound Mall. Now, both myself and Sophia had roughly the same opinion on this mall, and it's that we really weren't the biggest fans of the way this place looked. Especially after seeing old photos of the way this mall looked with the old maroon tiles, this just looks like a complete downgrade. I know it's really only the flooring that's changed for the most part, but still, it just doesn't look that great. There's nothing really appealing here or anything exciting, and that carpet honestly just ruins it for me. Sure, those little squares in the ceiling are kinda cool, but other than that, there really isn't anything interesting here. Especially since when visiting this mall, I realized that this was pretty much just a mirror image of the Newtown Mall in New Philadelphia, and when comparing that mall to this one, Newtown just looks so much better in every way. I mean, there should be a fountain right in front of that JCPenney. But I think you get the idea. But with that being said, I think occupancy is the other big problem here, as I thought this mall was going to be a little more lively than it was, and although I do think it still has quite a bit of life inside, I do know several people believe that this place is nothing compared to what it used to be. And I could definitely agree, especially since those gray carpets look hideous. Okay, I think I've said enough about those carpets. But with that being said, there are still quite a bit of mainstays in this mall, as well as quite a bit of mom and pop shops here too. And I think this mall does still serve the Newark and Heath area well. But with that being said, I don't know how much longer it's going to last, especially since the mall's current owners as of making this, Washington Prime Group, are currently trying to sell a bunch of their malls, and I have a feeling this will be one of the malls they try to sell. On top of that, Columbus is not too far away and they have their own malls, and that just leaves this mall in an interesting position, but only time will tell what the future holds for the Indian Mound Mall. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you all for watching my video tour of the Indian Mound Mall in Heath, Ohio. If you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like, as it greatly helps support the channel. And whilst you're at it, be sure to click that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more mall videos like this to be released to more viewers like you. I have a lot more mall content coming to the channel very soon, with a lot more stuff you're not going to want to miss. So be sure to subscribe for more malls to come your way. I also have an Instagram linked in the description with sneak peeks of future videos coming to the channel. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, stay awesome, and have a blessed day. I will see you all in my next video.